These 15 on the amended agenda.
Okay. I'll make that motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The amended agenda passes. Do we have any public comment? No public comment. We'll move on to board comments. Any board comments?
I would like to thank you, Mr. Hines, for taking over. I've got some serious illness at home.
No problem. Consent agenda, which consists of approval of minutes from the January 11, 2024 regular meeting, approval of claims and expenditures, approval of field trip request, Lee High School, Sheena and Joy Carroll, Trey Adams, boys and girls track and field teams competition in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, 4/04/24, and approval of authorization for the division superintendent to fill vacancies existing or occurring between February 9, 2024 through March 13, 2024. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
We have a second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Reports of the board. Any reports? No. Reports of the division superintendent, Mr. Dean.
Mr. Chairman, February is School Board Appreciation Month. On behalf of the entire school division, I want to say thank you to all of you all for what you do. Hope you enjoyed the meal that the vocational school provided, the gifts. I know a lot of times that you all have difficult jobs. You get to deal with everyone in your communities. But I do want to say thank you. I enjoy working with all of you, and I appreciate you, and I know the division appreciates you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
February the 12th through the 16th is School Board Clerk Recognition. I want to say thank you to Aaron Combs and Jessica Phipps for being clerks of the board. Appreciate what they do. A lot of times they don't get the recognition they do, getting everything ready for meetings and everything, but I just want to say I appreciate you, and I know the school board appreciates you.
There you go.
Thank you. Thank you.
February the 5th through the 9th, National School Counselors Week. Like we talked about earlier, school counselors are very important, and I think they've even, been doing so much more since the pandemic and the issues that children have now. And we have a wonderful group of school counselors, and I just want to say thank you for all that they do and recognize them as well. February is also Career and Technical Education Month. We have a wonderful program here and at Thomas Walker with the CTE classes that they offer. I'm not going to try to list them all because I know I'll forget a program, but we have a lot of opportunities for our students that can do different things and gain the skills they need to be productive citizens in the workforce. Kingsport Times News Right On. If you get a chance, I highly encourage you to look at those. We have representatives from all three middle schools, Elydale, Jonesville, and Pennington. So if you get a chance, look at those, and if you see those students, recognize them for putting that out and putting that in the paper. Enrollment, we are up again this month to 2812. So we're up 14 from last month. The budget is based on 2710, so we were doing really well. I think we've had a lot of students who have come back from the pandemic to re-enroll in school. We also have a large number of foster children that's why it fluctuates so much from month to month. You have the Head Start and operations and transportation updates in your packet. If you have any questions on those, I'll be more than glad to try to answer those. You also have a draft gifted plan. I want to thank Mr. Graham for working on this. It is a work in progress. It would be adding the visual and performing arts to the gifted plan. Currently, we are only servicing academics on the gifted, but this would be, if we do this, and that's the reason I gave it to you all as a draft to look over, it would change it and do the visual and performing arts and possibly give some more opportunities for our students. And graduation dates. Make sure I don't tell you the wrong date here. Lehigh scheduled for May the 17th at 7 p.m. at 5 Star Stadium with a rain date of May the 18th at 11 a.m. at 5 Star Stadium. Thomas Walker, May the 19th at 4 p.m. inside their gymnasium. So I asked the principals to go ahead and give us those dates.
Have we started working on the thing that April Hughes brought up at the last meeting?
Yes, we have started those conversations and working with her, and I think I've had a couple of people meet with her and talk with her, so we have been working on that.
Okay, thanks.
That's all I have at this time.
Next is unfinished business. I don't know of any unfinished business.
No, sir.
Action discussion items. A, action if any to approve request for dismissal of Lee High School on May 15th, 2024 at 12 p.m. for Mountain 7 District Outdoor Track and Field Meet.
Mr. Chairman, Lehigh, Mr. Coomer contacted us. They are hosting the track meet, and it would begin at 1:30, which would be prior to the school dismissal. I think it starts at 1:30 and the meet actually begins at 2. But in an attempt to make things better for everybody at this facility, he's asked that they be dismissed at 12 o'clock to get the buses out, because we'll have a number of buses from each school that's participating in the track meet. This will not impact us on the instructional hours, as currently we are based off of Flatwoods, who we had to dismiss a day ahead of everybody else due to the fire. So this would not impact that, and my recommendation is that we allow Lehigh and Lehigh only to dismiss early that day. This would give the buses time to run and come back to the other schools for dismissal at 3 o'clock.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
And I also say, Mr. Chairman, that Lehigh is excited to be able to host that track meet on the facility that they have.
Absolutely.
Action, if any, to change February 19th, 2024 from a scheduled holiday to a regular school day, and change March 8th, 2024 from a half day to a full day.
Mr. Chairman, you know we had missed a number of days. We missed 8 in a row for the weather that we had. We missed one day, I think it was January the 10th, when we had some inclement weather. We missed what we've called Fugitive Day, when we had the fugitive running around the county that had to close everything down. So we've missed a total of 10 days, and we've had some 2-hour delay days. We are right now within a few hours of not meeting the 990-hour requirement at Flatwoods, which is the lowest school in our division. In an attempt to give us a little extra leeway and some extra time in case we need to have some 2-hour delay days, I'd like to change the 19th to a school day and change the 8th to a full day. That would give us some hours to have in our back pocket that we could use possibly if we needed them.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
I so move.
I'll second. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by stating aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Action, if any, for emergency procurement approval for roof replacement at Rose Hill Elementary School.
Mr. Chairman, when they did the roof restoration at Rose Hill, and I can't tell you why, they did not include the area over the cafeteria in that. We've had a number of leaks in that area, and if we don't do something quickly, we're going to have bigger problems than what we have now. Right now, we could fix it by taking off the rubber membrane, putting a new rubber membrane down and sealing it all around, because the insulation has not been damaged in a huge area, but just where we've had the leaks. Honestly, I can't tell you why they did not include that. We should have been. But we can get this done quickly in the next couple of weeks, and that's fast right now with anything going on. It's $49,800. It'll be a whole lot more if we damage that roof anymore. I believe Ms. Belcher and I believe we can cover it with the budget. And our recommendation is we go ahead and get this work done and secure that area, especially with it being in the cafeteria and over where they prepare food.
I'll make that motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor, signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Action, if any, to approve starting grade work for practice fields at Edendale Middle School.
Mr. Chairman, I think Mr. Varnador has some more information on this. I know it's possible need down there because I think the football team practices on the baseball field. If any of you have ever been coaches, you take pride in what you got. So you got the baseball coach not happy that the football team's on the baseball field. Limited space down there, so I'll ask Mr. Varnador if he can add some more to that.
Yeah, basically, the football program started the project of sowing Bermuda grass on the field at Thomas Walker last year. So it's still not in a place to where it needs to be practiced on. And they've got to do some more work this spring and summer. I had to talk with Mr. Dean about, options and everything, and talking with Mr. Smith at Thomas Walker and Ms. Ayers at Elydale. There's a lot of acreage right behind Elydale that is unoccupied. We're not doing anything with it. Nothing's been done on it for years. So after talking with Mr. Dean, we decided to, try to see what we could get it done for, what the cost was going to be. Gentleman that and his crew that does all the grade work for all of LMU's grounds has agreed to do it for free to benefit the students of Lee County. Contacted building inspectors and stuff like that. There's no permits required. He suggested to contact Soil Conservation Agency. There's no permits required for that. So there's no cost to the county as of right now to do this. Now, somebody asked earlier about the, in the future, are we going to want to do anything, in regards to locker room? I don't foresee that being, a permanent structure as a locker room being in the works, maybe a storage building, just to, keep equipment in the future. But right now, the immediate cost would be for some fescue grass to sow on it when it's done. So I know the board was gracious. I think it was last year, the year before, to vote to allow us to do a practice field on campus at Thomas Walker. But after checking with health department and some different things, that location, it was going to be over the drain field lines, and that's not doable. So, yes, that's, if you have any more questions or, anything like that, I'll try my best to answer it.
But it's no cost to the county.
No, sir.
Is that just gonna do it?
Out of the goodness of his heart. He's got a 4-man crew with 4 dozers ready to go.
What is the plan to get the students down to that area?
So during the summer for football, their workouts, if they drive, they'll take themselves down there. Equipment will already be there. And if not, parents would drop off their kids at Elydale for those practices during the school. We would have one of our coaches that is certified to drive a bus to be at Thomas Walker. Every player would get on that bus regardless if they drive or not. That way we know where everybody's at. They would take them from Thomas Walker after they change out, go to Elydale, practice, come back.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Do we have a second?
Is this just to get it done, just to get the field?
Well, I think the question is what comes up in the future expense-wise and what's going to be demanded then.
Right.
So I ask again, do we have a second? Motion fails for lack of a second. On to closed session, and I will make the motion that we go into closed session to discuss personnel under Code of Virginia Section 2.2-3711A1, student discipline under Code of Virginia Section 2.2-3711A2. And do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor signify by stating aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes for in closed session.